Some people think that making beats might be dying. I am a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum producer who's worked with artists like Lil Baby, Chris Brown, Pooh Shiesty, and today I'm going to expose to you the truth about what's killing the producer community and how you, yes you, can fix it. Also, shout out to Try Fees. This is a response to his video, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. His take on this is solid. Now, one thing I've been hearing a lot in the producer community is that everything sounds the same. Everyone is chasing the same 10 placements by making the same exact stuff. Yeah, this type of stuff. Oh yeah, and this type of stuff too. And don't forget about this type of stuff. Now, part of the issue is that artists always try to chase the hottest trends and sounds. But the problem is, as producers, we're supposed to be creating those trends and sounds, not following after the trends and sounds that have already been set, because that means that we would be moving backwards. We would be keeping things stagnant. Doing this leads to a lot of music that is boring, uninspiring, and unoriginal. So how can we fix this? Well, you could stop chasing placements. Or you could chase placements, but chase those placements by making original music for the people that you're trying to get placements with. Don't try to create something that sounds like what they already hopped on, but create something that you could still hear them on, but that really is an expression of you and your own musicality. Let's put this into action. First things first, we're gonna use this Phrygian scale. That scale is very popular in that old school trap sound. So we'll start with Xenology. Get us a little synth pluck. That's our first sound. So now, how can we make this a little bit unique? Well, I'm very inspired by West African music, so I'm gonna use this sound from West Africa, right? So now let's add this to it. So now we got a different vibe in there than that's usually in these types of beats. Let us continue. So now add some brass to it. Gotta add some effects. Now for the drum. So just adding one sort of sound, right? Now, how can we make this even more different? Type beats and type melodies are killing us. We have so many different producers making the same exact stuff. We have type beats and type melodies that have literally flooded YouTube. You can look at any type of artist and get any type of sound you want based on who's already hot. And when all the new artists are making songs off of beats that are already hot, this leads to a lot of music sounding the same. Imagine if I am a new artist and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and the hottest artist in my city is Lil Baby. Then a lot of the beats that I might be privy to making music on are going to be Lil Baby type beats. And a lot of the producers that are around me will probably also be making beats that are inspired by Lil Baby. But somebody in that area has to say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to create a new sound that takes some of the influences of Lil Baby, takes some of the influences of Atlanta, and take some of my own personal influences. And I'm gonna put that all together and I'm gonna create something new for artists to hop on. And then you get a new sound and you get a new artist. And then this person is what everybody's trying to copy. As producers, we either have the choice to be the trendsetter or the trend follower, but we can't be both. So today you have to choose a side. Yeah, on this video right now, as you're watching right now, because you can get placements both ways. Are you gonna be that person who people could just call up and say, yo, make me a Detroit type beat. Yo, make me a Lil Baby type beat. Yo, make me a Memphis type beat. Yo, make me a Future type beat. If you're not investing time into creating your own sound, you're probably a trend follower. And that's okay, you know, different strokes for different folks. Being a trendsetter is what will literally set you apart from all the other producers. And it's what gains you the most respect within the producer community as well. So if I'm somebody like a Tay Keith who has a Black Boy JB and we come on the scene with this modern Memphis sound, yeah, now Drake wants to work with Tay Keith. Or if I'm Benny X and I'm working with Yeet and we got this new underground sound that sounds crazy, Drake wants to work with me too. You know, Drake likes to work with everybody that's hot, you know, upcoming. If you want to be that type of producer who's getting those types of calls, you have to have your own sound. That's the commonality. And most times this sound is built with an artist who's not necessarily at the top yet. They're not mainstream yet, but you're building with them. And then you gain the attention of people in the industry. You gain the attention of fans. And that's what sets you apart. Look at Riot and Ice Spice, Benny X and Yeet, Zaytoven, Gucci Mane. The list is endless. I think that a lot of producers are not really seeing that vision, that producer-artist combo. I consider that to be one of the pinnacles of producing, is to have an artist that you're able to build up and say, yeah, this was because of my sound. Like this person came up on my sound and people know my sound because of the work that I've done with this artist. Now I've had that on a small scale with an artist named Slime Life Shawty. If you ever heard this song called Clappers, this was an artist that I worked with in 2020, very heavy, when he was on the come up, very hot in Atlanta, probably the hardest and hottest artist in Atlanta at the time. And I produced probably like 80% of his music at the time because of the sheer amount of music I was producing for him. So many people that were in the industry, like already hot, working with major artists, producers, artists, were hitting me up to work with me, hitting me up for beats, hitting me up for melodies, because I had built something with someone that was different, that was new, that was hot, that was coming up. Were we inspired by the sound of Atlanta at the time? Of course, but we did things in our own way. And that's what I'm telling you to do. You can have your inspirations. You can have these sounds that you enjoy, but once you become a carbon copy, you can never take the #1 spot. The #1 spot is already there. Invest time in creating your own sound. Invest the time into pulling your influences together. It could be country music. It could be like that you like anime. It could be that you like to play the guitar. It could be anything. But you take your influences, you mesh them together and you bring them into this sound that nobody has heard before. What is that? Now, for many, this could be a real challenge because you might not know where to start. You might be new to making beats. You might know how to play instruments, but not necessarily know how to translate the sound of those instruments or the styles that you maybe were classically trained in to hip hop music. And that's understandable. You know, that's why I have a coaching program where I teach producers how to do these things, how to create their own sound. How do you create music that artists and producers are inspired to use and to buy, not music that just impresses the ears of other producers. When I work with producers one-on-one, I equip them with the industry level knowledge that they need to be able to step into that studio with confidence and to work with these different artists and to work with different producers and to actually make a name for themselves in the game. It's like having me as a personal trainer, but for beats. You know, everyone progresses quicker when they have that ear. You might not have anybody around you that knows music, but now you got a multi-platinum producer who could tell you, yeah, that's it. You're doing it right, or nah, that ain't it. Everyone progresses quicker when they have that level of accountability and that level of wisdom coming straight at them. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit the link in the pinned comment and book a one-on-one call with me to see if you would be fit and qualified for my mentorship program. Now, that brings me to my final point in this video. Artistic expression is lacking in the producer community. We don't have enough artists, people who want to step outside the box and push boundaries. You know, an artist is someone who's like, yo, F the rules. I'm doing what I want to do based on what's coming through me, based on what needs to be expressed right now in this current time. I'm putting that out there. We have a lot of copycats, but we don't have a lot of artists. We got a lot of speedrunners. We got a lot of people who know how to program things on FL Studio based on formulas they seen. Oh, you put this bass line here and you do this here and now it sounds like this. But where's the artistic value? The artist like Kanye West, he always got a creative vision. This one is gonna be gospel and we gonna mesh this gospel sound with this street sound. Or this one is gonna be about 808s and heartbreaks and about love songs, and I'm gonna bring some country influences into this one because I like the way those tonalities sound. Like there's a different sort of thought process there. Oh, so I'm gonna put these chords, play them over and over again, put Portal on it, and yeah, I made a melody. Like, come on, man. You ain't really doing it. You gotta put your own influences in your music. And there's no set formulas to this. Just go out and create. And I know that you might be thinking like, dang, I'm trying to get some bread off of this, or I'm trying to make some money or whatever. You're not thinking like an artist. I'm not saying you can't get your money. I'm not saying that you can't get your placements. What I am saying is that don't lose the artistic value of creating music. Imagine Pierre Bourne making a drill beat. We'd be like, why did Pierre make a drill beat? He doesn't make drill beats. That's not his thing. He makes Pierre Bourne beats. You see, we want to get to that level. That's the level to be at, where you have your own sound. And if people want that sound, they got to come to you. If they want a knockoff, then they go get a knockoff. But if they want the real thing, they're going to come to you. And the only reason why you can charge high prices, or people could say, yo, we got to call him up or we got to call her up, is because you have your own unique sound. So yes, making beats is dying. And in order for producers to live and for a new reality of music production to be birthed, this era of type beats and copying what's hot and just being a replicator has to die. And it's going to die. You see AI. You think you're going to be able to copy better than AI? It's only going to take like a year or two, maybe 3, before AI is making better type beats than both of us. So you better get your own sound. Peace.